I want to turn to another topic that you talked about in your new book, the Circadian Diabetes Code, which is GLP-1 medications. This is a huge topic in the zeitgeist right now. Everybody's talking about the Ozempics and the semaglutides and all the other medications, right? And really, these medications have become very central to these conversations about blood sugar and weight loss and diabetes, right? So how does a GLP-1, maybe you could explain for the listeners, how does the natural GLP-1 that we create, how does that relate to circadian rhythm? Like, how does this all fit together for us?
Yeah, so GLP-1 is the hormone that is secreted from after we eat, so that it goes and tells our brain that, hey, you have eaten enough and stop eating now. And that's the kind of a very simplified version of what GLP-1 does. And our response, this GLP-1 response, is very different at different time of the day. So at certain time of the day, the production is much higher, so that it stops. But within the context of GLP-1 as a medication, what GLP-1 is doing is what I call pharmacological fasting. So, if you have the willpower to do fasting, overnight fasting every day, then of course you can do time ratio eating, and then some form of intermittent fasting also requires you to fast for 48 hours, 24 hours, or even 5 days of very low calorie. But that needs a lot of willpower.
Sure.
But the idea is, well, when we have been eating throughout the day and night, as long as our eyes are open, we are eating, and even in the middle of the night, we wake up and have a tub of ice cream. Then our brain has rewired itself that it's not listening to GLP-1 anymore, or the GLP-1 pathway is not working, and we have to crank that up. So since our willpower is not working anymore, we have to bring a medication so that our brain stops craving for food.
Right.
And that's exactly what GLP-1 kind of medications do. And people always think that, okay, GLP-1 is a wonder drug. It just causes weight loss and blood glucose control. But what it does is it reduces your craving for food. And by reducing craving for food, people typically eat less, those who are taking GLP-1. So this is the pharmacological fasting. But what is interesting with GLP-1, those who are taking, they might notice is they will benefit much better if they actually have a very scheduled meal time. So for example, if they want to eat 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, if they keep those timing constant and try to eat within those time, then that actually helps them to tolerate the medication much better, because there are a lot of people who cannot tolerate these medications. In the sense that they will get gastrointestinal problem or other issues. So by maintaining your meal timing will help you. And another thing is many GLP-1 users also see loss of muscle mass. Because when we lose weight, overall weight, we actually lose, it's very normal to lose both muscle weight and fat weight, unless we pay attention to it. So that's why GLP-1 users may pay attention to exercise or their protein intake. And again, the protein intake, if you stick to the right meal time, then you can feel hungry around the same time. And if you feel hungry around the same time every single day, then you are likely to eat slightly more food than you otherwise would eat. And after a few months, after a few weeks of weight loss, you also want to maintain that weight and build up that muscle. So that's why maintaining a regular meal time for GLP-1 users is very important.
It's really important. That's amazing. Thank you for clearing that up, because I think, again, people think that it's a cure-all, it's a miracle, which, it is. It's a very effective tool. But I think what you're saying is that combining it with the time-restricted eating is sort of the key to maintaining that blood sugar, maintenance, or that weight loss after you have either gone off the medication or if you've habituated to it, right? Sort of
Yeah.
plateaued.
I mean, people who have pre-diabetes or those who are trying to lose weight, but they have
Right.
normal blood glucose, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the GLP-1 literature says you have to be on this medication for rest of your life, which is very
Right.
difficult for many people.
Yeah,
And
it's
also,
expensive.
every year there is a risk of certain adverse side effect like gastroparesis,
Mm-hmm.
etc. Is although it's 1%, but over years it will add up. So
Sure.
that's why if you have pre-diabetes or overweight or obese, and you took the GLP-1 for a year or 6 months or so to bring your levels to healthy range, then the question is, should you stay on this GLP-1 for rest of your life, or should
Mm-hmm.
you, during this time when you're going through GLP-1, since you have better control over your
Right.
mind is not listening, your mind is not
Yeah,
hearing
the
the
food
food
noise. The food
cacophony
noise
all
is
the
less.
time,
Right. Mm-hmm.
this is the time to build up some self control,
Mm-hmm.
and it's almost like it gives you an opportunity to train your body, train your
Right.
mind. So that's
Mm-hmm.
how I look at vast majority of them who are kind of using GLP-1 to manage pre-diabetes or um, excessive body weight they can do.